Austin Town on Mulgoa Road northbound near Bat Street, and I'm just getting a breakdown at Arnsford for outbound traffic on Mars Street approaching the Flora Street line. Canberra's been pretty much okay all morning, so we head on down towards Melbourne where it's been anything but. Inbound, Tullamarine Freeway just after Morland Road, 2 cars have come up.
Every day, over 16 million motor vehicles keep Australia moving, transporting goods, connecting businesses, providing the central nervous system of the national economy. Just how reliant we all are on road transport and motor vehicles is probably best illustrated by the fact that for every 1,000 Australian residents, there are 721 motor vehicles, travelling on average over 15,000 kilometres each year. That's over 215 billion kilometres in total. Quietly ensuring that the nation's reliance on motor vehicles is met is Australia's largest small business industry sector, the motor trade's retail and repair industry. With 100,000 businesses, more than 310,000 employees and aggregated turnover of more than $160 billion, the Australian automotive industry is a critical training ground, supplying essential skills to not only the automotive industry, but also many others, such as mining, resources and agriculture. It remains one of the nation's major sources of apprenticeships, with more than 40 specific professions represented across a myriad of sectors within the industry. The Australian motor trade's retail and repair industry is rich in history and innovation. The industry recognised very early in its infancy the need for collaboration, strength in representation, and for their voice to be heard by government policymakers, regulators and legislators, with employee groups and with each other. The Motor Trade Associations of New South Wales, Queensland, South Australia, Western Australia, the Northern Territory and Australian Capital Territory, along with the Automobile Chambers of Commerce in Victoria and Tasmania, are amongst the oldest in the world. The automotive industry journey starts with the purchase of a new or used motor vehicle or motorcycle, generally the largest purchase decision outside a home by most Australians. The importance of the new and used car dealers segment is reflected in the fact that they've grown to have their own Australian Automobile Dealers Association. Issues impacting this sector include consumer law, trade practices and unconscionable behaviour in connection with franchising, employee relations and taxation. Over the past decade, with increasing fuel prices, greater environmental awareness and the impact of congestion in major urban centres, the purchase and use of motorcycles has seen the biggest sector growth in almost every year for the past decade. Fit-for-purpose regulations, safety and recognition are among priority areas for this market segment. Keeping motor vehicles moving is the domain of another important sector group, which has changed remarkably over the decades to be more than just a supplier of fuel and oil.
My name's Tony Franza and I'm in the petrol convenience business, and I've been in this automotive industry for 30 years, and I've seen the evolution from the automotive repair business to the convenience business that we are now in retailing. I remember from when we used to actually serve people on the driveway, check their tyres and fill their cars with petrol, to the self-serve industry that we're in now, to the convenience operation that we are with the petrol retailing. I have the occasion when people come in and say, I remember you when I was only 5. And it's a bit daunting, but it's pleasant when that happens.
Then there is a profession or specialisation and business for almost every component, from the front bumper bar to the back, and for every type of vehicle imaginable, from specialist motorcycle mechanics to auto electricians, to tyre retailers and repairers, wheel aligners, radiators, fuel systems, to windscreens and everything in between. Add to that further specialisations for heavy vehicles, farm machinery, marine, and you start to comprehend the sheer size and reliance we all have on this industry. For those unfortunate enough to have something go wrong, there's another important sector at the ready to provide the service needed to get us mobile again. Like almost all sectors in the automotive industry, the body and automotive repair sectors deploy innovative technologies to some of the most exacting standards under an imposing and regulatory environment. This ensures vehicles are as safe and reliable for the remainder of their use as when they left the factory. It also means relationships with other industries, including insurance, are at the forefront.
My name's Mike McCrudden. I work at Glenline Motors. It's a family industry. I've been here since I didn't have a choice. You had to work here after school and got to hand it on. There's my dad, my granddad before that. Now my boy's in here. If it wasn't for the family, the business just wouldn't be here today under the current economic climate that we have. A lot of people don't realise that the mechanical industry has been a great innovator to the world. A lot of innovations come out of Australia, but nobody ever thinks of it or knows of it. They do, they take the car for granted. You know, the forklift is taken for granted, but it was invented here, and so was the lawnmower. You know, small engines is important in the industry as light vehicles.
And ultimately, when the end of lifetime comes for a motor vehicle or motorcycle, automotive dismantlers and recyclers step in and provide valuable solutions. Precious second-hand parts are reused, such as non-damaged lights and panels. What's left is separated and, where possible, recycled. The state and territory motor trade associations and automobile chambers of commerce will continue to represent this important industry to state governments, business and the community. Now there is a refreshed and vibrant new national representative body, the Australian Motor Industry Federation. It will work with Federal Parliament and Commonwealth departments to ensure the rights and needs of this essential and cornerstone industry are known and protected in policy, legislation and regulation. That way, we can continue to keep Australia moving in the right direction.